So this is a question about copyright. Digital rights management, especially as it relates to copyright, has been an issue for many years and will only become a bigger one as more content moves into the digital realm. Publishers, even more than content creators, want strong, extremely long-lived and restrictive copyrights, while many civil libertarians want information to be free. How do you see this playing out in the future, both for the general public at large and, more to tonight's point, for public libraries?
It's a great question, a very, very complicated one. I think some information does need to be free and accessible. So the laws of the United States, which are, by the way, not subject to copyright, need to be available to every citizen for free. However, what Rebecca writes from this morning's World Economic Forum event with John Kerry can and should be charged for, right? For all the reasons you suggested. You will not have 1,600 reporters or 1,700 reporters in 160 countries, right? Or the Washington Post won't have 1,000 reporters or whomever it would be if you're not actually compensating them. And likewise, authors need to be able to get compensated for the books they write and so forth. So there does need to be a system of compensating authors and publishers. But the risk, of course, is that we go to a system that you only can get it if you can pay for it. And I think that's where the inequity comes in and where the real danger falls. So I do believe that libraries need to be able to get access to that New York Times reporting, right, as well as the underlying law or the sort of publicly accessible thing and the analysis that happens in other formats. And there needs to be a way for libraries to keep it. So the fear I have is that libraries in this mode move from being owners and holders of information, which you are with physical books, to being renters or leasers, right? And if then a publisher goes out of business or decides to charge much more and then pulls it back and it's not accessible to the public and it's totally behind a strong digital rights management system, DRM, it's not accessible, I think that's problematic. So I think things are shaking out in such a way to allow for collective access through libraries that is appropriate, while also having enough of a revenue system to sustain journalists, authors, others who produce the content. And I think that's very much in process and playing out in this digital era.
Right, it's definitely playing out in the ebooks
Ebooks
relationship
particularly, yep.
with libraries.